Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. A state-owned insurance company is being promised by the Liberals in what's coined their biggest announcement of the campaign to date. While welcomed by some, it's been slammed by a top economist as one of the worst policy ideas ever proposed by a major party in Tasmania, as the cost of living dominated today's campaigning.
A polite handshake 3 weeks into the election battle, the major party leaders today pitching more promises to ease cost of living, an issue the Premier has sought to make a bold stamp on.
We're setting up our own state-owned insurance company to support Tasmanians. It'll be cheaper, it'll be fairer, and it will be ours.
TasInsure will expand the Motor Accident Insurance Board to cover home and contents, small business, community groups and events, and regional insurance.
Our estimation is that it will save households up to $250 or more a year.
To have this coming in to support Tasmanian businesses is critical and certainly a game changer.
But a leading economist has labelled the policy one of the worst any major party in Tasmania has ever proposed.
It is taking government into an area where it doesn't belong. Second, it exposes the Tasmanian government to increased financial risks.
While Labor's calling out their opponents for considering selling public assets only a month ago.
This is a Premier who doesn't know if he's coming or going. I wouldn't trust him to run a bath, let alone an insurance company.
Who are adding to their list of cost of living measures.
We want to make sure that every bill that comes out of government or a government business is able to be paid monthly.
As the Greens air concerns about the $97 million price tag that has been revealed for the Macquarie Point Stadium precinct's underground car park, which is separate from the current $945 million total.
This will be costing taxpayers into the future, and it's just not good enough to continue sinking more and more money into a dud project.
As the old saying goes, money talks, perhaps more so in an election campaign. Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
A shelter has come off second best after a metro bus carrying students smashed into it on the busy after-school run in Launceston. It struck the stop just before 4 o'clock this afternoon, blocking part of Trevelyan Road while police responded. No one was injured and students were quickly transferred to another vehicle to complete the journey home. Three people have been forced to flee their home when a unit block on Hobart's eastern shore became engulfed in flames last night. Fire crews spent much of the day combing through the burnt-out building to determine the cause.
Red hot and rising, flames tearing through this Howrah unit. Inside, 3 people. As smoke filled the property, the alarm was triggered and residents fled.
They couldn't even get their footwears. They were just barefooted outside standing, just seeing, it was fire everywhere.
The blaze sweeping through the entire complex from the garage right up to the second floor.
A little bit scared because, the flames were too big.
All blown, lot of smoke. It was scary moment.
Firefighters arriving at the Clifford Court property just before 9 last night to find the home well alight. Several crews were called to the scene tasked with battling the blaze.
It took crews approximately 45 minutes to an hour to get the fire under control, and they remained on scene overnight to ensure that there wasn't any reignition.
The entire unit destroyed.
So the entirety of the unit has been gutted by fire, unfortunately, for the occupants. It will be a full rebuild for the unit.
Detectives and fire crews combing the property today, still piecing together the cause and origin of the blaze. Firefighters say the outcome could have been much worse if it wasn't for the working smoke alarms, a timely reminder of all Tasmanians to install alarms in bedrooms and living areas and check batteries regularly.
In this fire, it has been critical that working smoke alarms have saved lives. The activation of that smoke alarm early in the fire has enabled the occupants to evacuate safely. 3
residents were treated at the scene and transported to hospital. 1 person suffering smoke inhalation. Rebecca Gaidaneris, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, before we head to a break, let's check in with weather presenter Kaya Wicks, who's out and about. Good evening, Kaya. Now, what's this getting the grocery shopping done in work hours?
Oh, hello there, Kim. Lovely to see you. I've just popped into the local IGA at Brighton. Now, the kids have called me and mentioned that there's absolutely nothing in the pantry yet again, typical teenagers. They stock some of the best local produce, as we well know. This store opened in December of 2024. Such a fantastic shopping experience. But what's more exciting is they have a great grocery giveaway. And to tell us more about Tassie's big giveaway, great to see you here, Andrew Hart. Hello. Ambassador, Homegrown IGA Tasmania. I've done some shopping.
You really have.
Now I need to feed the kids, they're pretty hungry. $100,000. Not sure if it's going to feed them, but how do people get involved?
All you have to do is come to your local IGA Tasmania and spend $30 or more on participating brands, which you have done, and then you take home your receipt and you enter it online. So $30 or more. Now the prizes are insane. IGA Tasmania are giving away $100,000 worth of grocery gift cards. That's 4 major prizes for $15,000 each. That's groceries for a whole year. There's also 80 gift cards worth $500. Remember, you've got to be in it to win it, so get into your local IGA throughout the month of July.
Now, Kim, keep hold of your receipts. I'll be back a little later with the weather details.
The battle of the tourism stakes has been decided, and this year it's the North coming out on top. 3 destinations beating out tough competition to be crowned the state's best, with one region's winning streak taking them to new highs.
Home of the Spirits, the famous Bluff, and now 3 straight top town titles. Devonport, the gold medal winners yet again.
Fabulous place to live, work and play.
Putting the Northwest back in the running for successive national wins.
We'd like you to stay a little longer, explore our region, and most certainly we'd love to get another national gong.
Down the highway, Delorain's picked up the top gong for the best small town, picked for its mix of nature and culture.
Delorain in the Meander Valley just has a beautiful mix of culture, heritage, scenic beauty, some amazing walks.
Rounding out the class of 2025, Stanley with 2 nods, Best Tiny Town and People's Choice.
Hoping it'll just bring more visitation to our region. Being on the sea, it's a very pretty place, but it's a wonderful community where everybody works together.
Getting to the top wasn't an easy ride though, beating out some of Tasmania's finest.
I think it was incredibly tight. We were so lucky to have 8 finalists right from all areas of the state, so from the east up into the northwest, even the beautiful town of Bothwell.
For those sitting on top, it's all about reaping the benefits.
Get them more branding and promotion for their towns. It's also about, I guess, that educational component of that town feeling really, celebrated and unique.
The Tassie trio is off to represent the map at the national finals in September. Victoria East 07 Tasmania News.
Southern Tasmania has opened another bulk recycling depot. It's giving locals a drive-through spot to cash in drink containers for 10-cent refunds. It's located in Goodwood. The facility will process more than 200 containers a minute.
Tasmania has 45% of its litter is eligible containers, and we aim to reduce that by half, so many benefits.
The depot also supporting jobs for people with disabilities, set to employ around 15 people yearly.
They'll build up their skills, they'll get things like the forklift licence, they'll learn to deal with cash, deal with customers, and then we'll support them to place them into other employment.
More than 13 million containers have been collected since the Recycle Rewards launched in May. We all know how cold the winter can be, and a charity program helping kids keep warm with new clothes has successfully reached its target of collecting 1,100 donated coats. The Coats for Kids initiative is run by community group Tassie Mums, who are also marking their 10th anniversary this year.
They will go to vulnerable and at-risk children all across Tasmania. We work through organisations that service children and access our free service to support them.
The volunteer-led organisation has helped around 10,000 Tasmanian kids over the past decade.
After getting the better of the Queenslanders on their home turf last year, the Tassie coach is expecting a tougher battle in Saturday's interstate game.
They've clearly got a different squad this year. I think I counted 11 ex-AFL players on their squad the other day. So yeah, they're going to have some high-end talent, but you know, we faced that this year, so another opportunity for us to go against a really good team.
I think if we can play the traditional Tassie way, that contested brand of footy, I think we can certainly get the job done.
If successful, it'll be their third straight win against Queensland and their second for the year after beating Sandringham in a pre-season rep clash. Proving himself as somewhat of a utility player this season, Tassie export Colby McKercher wants to cement himself as a midfielder. But he's got plenty of time to settle into his spot at the club, signing a 2-year extension today with a year still to run on his existing deal, keeping him at North Melbourne until 2028.
At the moment playing half back, I've played forward this year and a little bit of midfield as well. I think long term I'm probably more suited to be a midfielder, but yeah, there's no rush for that, and yeah, I'm really enjoying being versatile.
The now 20-year-old was drafted number 2, part of Tassie's record draft haul in 2023. The Chargers men have a chance to rocket up the congested NBL 1 ladder this weekend. A win against league giants Mount Gambier would hand them second place, and although Hobart has home court advantage, it will not be easy.
I think they've been a respectable team for the last, ever since I've joined the league. I think they have a great coach in Richard Hill. I think to come out and have a chance to try and crack into that top 2 against Mount Gambier is pretty good.
Meanwhile, the Launceston Tornadoes are also preparing to play Mount Gambier in what might be their last home game ever. Fittingly, it'll be played in tribute to the 1995 champion side, who'll be watching courtside. The victorious 1995 Tornadoes still have it. As the club looks back at their trailblazing effort 3 decades ago.
There's been a lot of successful women's sport played in the north over the years, but you know, they could not get the publicity, and the Tornadoes generated the publicity, and now we've got, you know, like netball, you've got football.
Those players will be watching courtside for what could end up being an historic game. The current players avoiding distraction while an axe hangs over their club.
It's been a rocky season. You know, something always happens for us every week, and the girls know how to bounce back. They know how to, you know, be the next one up. 2
clubs must become one next season, as league administrators say they'll no longer split the men's and women's NBL 1 licences between the Torns and Northwest Thunder. The Ulverston-based Thunder was shocked by accusations of bullying earlier this week.
We're the same as Launceston. I mean, we're really passionate about our club. We love what we bring to the community, and we love the fact that we can suit up on a Saturday night and get in front of our fans and our members. This model is almost forced upon us a little, but we'll work with it. We've said all the way through we're going to do what's best for basketball.
But the club says the split licences aren't viable.
We have logistical issues, we have a lot of financial issues which come into a fact of it's not going to be a model on paper that right now works.
Those on the outside hope for a solution that doesn't see one club forced to fold.
Both clubs and brands, I suppose, have been a key part of the basketball landscape for a long time, and it'd be a real shame to lose one of them.
We don't want it to be an ongoing issue for the next 6 months. We want to have some finality around what we can do to prepare for season 2026 and what that looks like for basketball.
Tasmanians Nash, Walker and Jacob Furphy are 1 win away from quarter-finals at basketball's Under-19 World Cup. Their Emus sealing a 71-63 win over from France to advance the group stage. Furphy equal high scoring for the Aussies alongside former Jack jumper Roman Silepa. They play Dominican Republic in the round of 16 tomorrow morning. I'm sure you'll be watching that one, Kim, at 3:30.
Oh, maybe not, but go the Emus. Thank you, Nick. Well, Kai Wicks will join us after the break with the weather forecast.
Welcome back. I'm here at IGA in Brighton. Things have been very chilly across the state today, but what is warming up is this great grocery giveaway.
Indeed it is. All you need to do is get into your local IGA, spend $30 or more on participating brands, and you could win a share of $100,000 worth of free groceries.
Fantastic. Sounds very exciting. Get on board, but let's take a look at how the weather unfolded across the state today. It was 11 in Hobart and Burnie today, and 12 in Launceston and also Devonport. 13 across the islands, Lowhead 12, 11 at St Helens, Friendly Beaches and Strawn. Smithton 10, 9 at Bushy Park, Grove 8 and just 2 degrees in Lyweenie. Broad areas of cloud streamed over from the east of the state today. Extensive areas of cloud were seen across eastern Victoria and New South Wales as an associated low pressure system spirals offshore to the mid-north coast. Tomorrow the low will shift
drift east into the Tasman Sea as the high centred over Australia slowly moves eastward, maintaining a ridge across Tasmania. South-southeasterly winds increasing up to 30 knots in the northeast. Easterly swells peaking to around 3.5 metres in those waters. A strong wind warning has been issued tomorrow for the east of Flinders Island. Possible showers in Hobart and Cygnet tomorrow, 13, 12 and cloudy in New Norfolk. Somewhat cloudy towards the north, Launceston and Devonport 13 and 11 the top in Campbelltown. Cloud extending to the west, 13 in Burnie and Strawn, 14 after an early frost in Smithton. Maybe some showers in St Helens and Swansea, both at 13, 11 and cloudy in Fingal. Forecast for Friday, light showers developing about the west and northwest, fine elsewhere after areas of frost and patchy fog in the morning. Some morning fog on Saturday, followed by light showers about the north and the west. And on Sunday, a foggy start, but mainly fine apart from possible light showers about the west. We'll take a look further north now. Possible storms in Perth tomorrow, 21. Showery in Canberra, Sydney and perhaps Melbourne, 26 and mostly sunny in Broome. Conditions are perfect here in Brighton this evening. Now, Kim, I'm going to pack the groceries in the back of the car and I look forward to seeing you again in the studio tomorrow night.
Okay, see you then, Kaya. And that is all we have time for tonight. I'll be back later with news breaks. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everyone.